On your mind, Chris.
Of Canadian harness racing. And this evening we feature the 2-year-olds, 32 freshmen who try to pass muster in 4 championship races. Our highlight of the evening, the $700,000 2-year-old Colt Pace, where over the years some of the greatest moments in Crown history have unfolded. My broadcast partner is Gary Seibel. And Gary, what is on the line tonight?
Well, Bruce, first of all, no matter what side of the border you are on, there is a lot of money on the line here in the 4 Breeders' Crown events from Mohawk this evening. Also, year-end divisional honors may indeed await our combatants tonight, and certainly the glory and prestige that go along with the Breeders' Crown title are guaranteed to our 4 winners tonight, but that may be the only lock of the evening.
Our main event is the 2-year-old Colt Pace, but over the years, this has been a graveyard for favorites.
You have that right. 11 of 12 winners. Favorites have been beaten favorites. 10 of those 11 have been odds-on favorites. We're talking about horses like Annihilator, Die Laughing, and the entry of Riyadh in Presidential Ball.
The morning line favorite is Arturo. The second choice is Gothic Dream. I'm not so sure that Arturo likes that role based on the history of this event.
I don't think he has much of a choice, and he comes by it naturally. Arturo is indeed the hot horse coming into tonight's race. He started his current 4-race win streak at Freehold Raceway in the Babbitt Final and followed that with a sweep of this event, the Garden State Stake, with a pair of impressive scores. Now, Gothic Dream was third to Arturo in their Breeders' Crown Elim last week and will need to be at his best as he was here in the Metro Stake at nearby Woodbine if he is to capture this Cadillac Breeders' Crown event tonight.
Well, that's coming up later, but earlier this evening we already had the 2-year-old Filly Trot. Let's go back for a moment and take a look at the conditions for that race. The purse money, $406,000. It's a 1-mile race, meaning almost 1.5 times around this 5/8 of a mile oval. And here's the field and the post-time odds for the 2-year-old Filly Trot. Number 1, Gerard Hanover, won 7 of 11, 2 for 2 at Mohawk, 5-1. Gramola 7-5, Gary.
And she outdid Gerard Hanover by 1 win, 8 victories, and 11 starts this year. A good mark of 55-2 and over $300,000 in earnings.
Number 5, No Nonsense Woman, has won 5 in a row and 1 in elimination. Kramer Cascade is a long shot at 65. What about Armbrow Prowess, number 7?
Well, she is trained and driven by Jimmy Takter, who won this event, the 2-year-old Filly Trot, back in 1993 with the Great Gleam.
So this was earlier this evening, the 2-year-old Filly Trot of the Cadillac Breeders' Crown. The track announcer is Frank Salive, and he has the call.
They're off and trotting with No Nonsense Woman on a break, leaving out of there. Gramola is off stride early. Along the inside, Jadon Hanover is eased away, and John Campbell eases Neath to the top. Armbrow Prowess and Elegant Image are out fast from the outside to be in the top 4, and Grill Now is following up in 5th. 2 more lengths to Kramer Cascade in from 6. Gramola off stride 7th. No Nonsense Woman is off stride from 8th. And on the lead, Neath went off stride around the first turn. Moving on down to the quarter pole, Jimmy Takter guns for the top with Armbrow Prowess. Along the inside, Jadon Hanover, 29-1 the first quarter. Here comes Armbrow Prowess to take over the lead. Jadon Hanover along the inside in second. Steve Condren has a firm rein on Elegant Image. She's got to come out of that hole from 3rd. 2 more lengths to Grill Now from 4th. Moving in to be 5th was Kramer Cascade. Neath is 6th. Gramola 7th. And the distance trailer is No Nonsense Woman. Elegant Image trotting up on the outside to chase. Armbrow Prowess past a half in 59 seconds flat. 29-4 in the second. They turn into the backstretch. The 1996 Cadillac Breeders' Crown. On the outside, Elegant Image is making a steady advance on Armbrow Prowess, and they move inside the final 3/8. Jadon Hanover has had a great ground-saving trip on the pylons, and she has moved out from 3rd. Grill Now is 2 more lengths to the outside and 4th, and Kramer Cascade is 5th. Then a big gap to Gramola, and the out-of-it trailers are No Nonsense Woman and Neath. On the inside, Armbrow Prowess, Elegant Image on the outside. 128-1. They pass 3/4, and they come to the top of the stretch. In the 1996 Cadillac Breeders' Crown, 2-year-old Filly Trot final. Armbrow Prowess on the lead since just past the quarter. Elegant Image tried it first over. Jadon Hanover up in the middle. Grill Now and Kramer Cascade looks through the inside lane. Here comes Jadon Hanover between fillies to an all-out drive. Armbrow Prowess, they're joined by Grill Now, but on the wire it's Armbrow Prowess Prowess and Jimmy Takter to win the Cadillac Breeders' Crown over Giron, Hanover, and Grill now in 1:59.2 for Armbrow Prowess.
Armbrow Prowess went off at odds at 14-1, returning $30.90, 11.20 and 8. Giron Hanover second, 6.20, 4.20. Grill now, $14 to show. Time of the mile, 1:59.2. The exacta return, 1:42 even.
Well, Bruce, not only was she a long shot here, but also a very game competitor on this night. A tough mile for Armbrow Prowess, pressured through a good part of it, and then holding off the late rally of Giron Hanover to get the job done here for trainer-driver Jimmy Takter.
The 2-year-old Bay Filly by Speedy Crown out of the Super Bowl mare Sugar Bear Hanover, owned by Robert Rosenheim, trained and driven by Jimmy Takter, bred by the Armstrong brothers. For Jimmy Takter, he won this race back in '93 with Gleam, but the story of this one, the Breakers.
No question about that, Bruce. You're talking about 2-year-old Filly Trotters here. They have a tendency to be a fractious group. Anyhow, rain, track condition, weather condition, that was part of the reason for those breakers tonight.
Well, coming up next at Mohawk, we'll go live to the 2-year-old Filly Pace. A terrific night for racing, even though the weather hasn't cooperated. Stay with us. The 1996 Cadillac Breeders' Crown is brought to you by Cadillac and your local Cadillac dealer. Cadillac, creating a higher standard. Mohawk Raceway opened in 1963. The home stretch is only 608 feet, and a lot of fans have turned out tonight despite the rain. Bruce Beck and Gary Seibel back with you. We focus now on the 2-year-old Filly Pace. And Gary, this is a very deep field. A lot of fillies could win.
That's certainly true, Bruce. It should be a very interesting race. Early position will be very, very important here, and there's no question about it. At least in this division, it all comes down to the Cadillac Breeders' Crown.
Let's take a look at the conditions for this race. Once again, it is a 1-mile race. It's for 2-year-old fillies, and it's worth $575,000. A quick look at the field. Before Sunrise, number 1, held with the entry along with Life of the Party at 8-5. Fanciful Hanover at 13. Tsunami Hanover at 16-1. Michelle's Jackpot, the even money public choice, Dragon So, Paling Avenue, and Decor are 5, 6, and 7. And the odds are there listed respectively at 9, 10, and 11. So we're getting set for the post parade for the 2-year-old Filly Pace as the fans turn their attention now to this race here at Mohawk Raceway. And Gary, Michelle's Jackpot, 10 of 13 in the money. Even money, the public definitely betting on Michelle.
That's right, and she has a couple of wins in a row coming into this event. A pretty easy win in her Breeders' Crown elimination last week. A good 28-1 last quarter, off as the favorite in that race. And I think that if Michelle's Jackpot wins this race and wins it decisively, she is certainly going to be the favorite to win year-end divisional honors.
You've got Dragon So, who has won 5 in a row, has really come on lately. You know, this is an interesting story in this division because you've got some going north and some heading south.
No question about that, but Dragon So is certainly heading north right now.
All right, the field getting ready to come on the track, and here is the post parade. Number 1 is Before Sunrise.
The most lightly raced filly in the field with just 6 lifetime starts. She has yet to be worse than 3rd, and she was 3rd in her Breeders' Crown elim last week, even though both of her knee boots slipped down around her ankles. No snafus tonight. She could be tough.
Driver Steve Condren, one of the best on the Ontario Jockey Club ovals. He won his first Breeders' Crown title last year. Was the 2-year-old Colt Trotter Armbrow officer. 1A is Life of the Party.
The other half of the Brittany Farms Daisy Acres owned entry in this Cadillac Crown event, along with Before Sunrise. The speedy daughter of Law got roughed up in her Crown elim, but raced super in that game 2nd place finish. You can't count her out.
Driver Jack Moiseyev won the Little Brown Jug last month and hopes to be the life of the party here. He has 2 Breeders' Crowns wins, both in the 2-year-old Colt Pace. Number 2 is Fanciful Hanover.
One of 4 daughters of the great champion Arts Place to earn a spot in the final. The inside post and her good early speed could serve her well in what might otherwise be a difficult task for this Montreal-based filly pacer. She's been 1st or 2nd in 9 of her 10 lifetime starts.
The pilot is Mike Saftik, who has the home field advantage. The Milton, Ontario native won his first crown last year with the late Elimony. Number 3 is Tsunami Hanover.
This 153-4 lifetime best pacer appeared the likely winner in her crown a limb last week when bothered by a breaking horse in the final turn, which pushed her wide. Now, she was, however, able to salvage third place enough to return for the final.
Driver Mike LaChance has 12 Breeders' Crown victories to his credit. He won last year in the 2-year-old Filly Trot. Number 4 is Michelle's Jackpot.
And Arts plays half-sister to 1994 Harness Horse of the Year, Cam's Card Shark. Michelle's Jackpot should be viewed as the one to beat in this Cadillac Crown final.
Rising star Luke Ouellette is in the bike. He won his first crown in '95 with Panifesto. Number 5 is Dragon So.
Now, this filly has 3 lifetime wins, but had none just 4 starts back. She has indeed won her last 3 races, including her Breeders' Crown a limb, and is obviously better than she's ever been right now.
The filly was 0 for 11 before Dave Miller got the assignment. With him, she is 3 for 3. Number 6 is Paling Avenue.
The richest filly in the field with $250,000 banked in 12 starts. She won her crown a limb here last week, but her Mohawk debut was not an auspicious one as she fell in the stretch in the Champlain Stakes on September 6th. She was not seriously injured.
Ron Waples is in the bike. Not only has he won 9 Breeders' Crown titles, but he's been the upset king, driving 4 of the 7 longest price winners in series history. And number 7 is Decor.
Well, Bruce, I know trainer Jack Darling's work well because he winters at South Florida's Pompano Park, and he does everything well. From a relatively small stable, he produces top campaigners every year.
Driver John Campbell owns this division. He's won it 5 times in the 90s, 7 times overall. Campbell is shooting for his 30th crown victory. Well, the Cadillac Breeders' Crown is all about drivers, trainers, owners, and of course, breeders. And when you talk about breeders, you have to talk about the group nearby in Inglewood, Ontario. Armstrong Brothers might not have the longest tradition among major breeding farms, but the well-respected nursery is without a doubt the Claiborne farm of the Canadian standardbred industry. Founded more than 40 years ago by Elgin and his younger brother Ted, Armstrong Brothers has filled its showcase room with an impressive collection of trophies, cups, plates, and awards won by some of the greatest names in harness history. It's a room filled with great memories, a tribute to the brothers who built a construction empire in Ontario before building a standardbred legacy which carries the Armbrow name.
Well, it's 18 years since they passed on, 18 to 20 years, and I'm sure they would be very proud. My father and uncle always liked to have places looking good, and I think this place is a tribute to them and what they really wanted. And you know, it certainly costs money to keep things up, but you know, it's part of a hobby and business, and I think it's important for pleases the family to come and see what's going on here.
Armstrong has been a dominant force in the 13-year history of the Breeders' Crown. The farm has owned or bred 9 champions who have taken home 11 trophies. Horses such as the fine trotting filly Armbrow Devona and the great pacing mare Armbrow Feather. The farm stands a handful of popular stallions today, including 1991 Breeders' Crown winning trotter King Kong and 2-time Crown champion pacer Village Jiffy. The Armstrong family may be out of the construction business, but for Charles Armstrong, the key to the family's success in every venture has been constant.
Armstrong Brothers, like being in the construction and in the horses, like we have a very good name for the construction company and their horses, and I believe it's my uncle and dad, you know, they treated people good, and the people were very devoted to them and worked hard for them. And I kind of think the loyalty is what paid off all the way through all the construction and in the horses.
Today, Elgin and Ted Armstrong would be proud that the Armbrow name lives on.
We have a lot of shareholders now, all family, you know, and not all of them are interested in going to races, but they're interested in Armstrong Brothers in the past with regard to what they've done, and they're pretty proud of the reputation we have, and I think that carries us a long way in life.
Win number 10 for the Armstrong Brothers tonight with Armbrow Prowess. And the Armstrong Brothers have had a multitude of magical moments, as you've seen, in the 13-year history of the Cadillac Breeders' Crown, and that's the topic of this Cadillac Racing Moment. One of the great moments for Armstrong Brothers Farm came in 1991 when Armbrow Keepsake crushed 10 rival 2-year-old trotting fillies at Pompano Park in Florida. It was a monumental moment for John Campbell as well. The victory pushed him over the $100 million mark in career earnings, the first and only driver ever to reach that major milestone. Armbrow Keepsake and Campbell, a Cadillac racing moment. 2-year-old Filly Pace is coming up next. The favorite is Michelle's Jackpot. 10 of 13 in the money this year. Won a division of the Molly Pitcher. Won the International Stallion Stake. Currently being held at 6-5. We'll be back. We are north of the 49th parallel, not far from Toronto and Campbellville, Ontario. Let's take a quick look at the odds for the 2-year-old Filly Pace before sunrise and life of the party coupled in the wagering because of the common entry, and it's 7-2 currently on the board. And 6-5 is Michelle's Jackpot. The public's choice, Dragon So, is getting some support at 9-2. Michelle's Jackpot in the eliminations here last week, Gary, was very impressive in winning and winning in style.
But Bruce, she likes to be either on the lead or close up to the lead, and I think you will see her leave tonight. And we'll take a look at her winning in her elimination, coming from out of the pocket and coming on rather strongly for driver Luke Ouellette. It was an easy victory for her, but look for her to leave and look for her to be pressured in this one.
The Breeders' Crown record, Central Park West, 153-3. The track record, Hardy Hanover, 153-3. And the world record, Central Park West and Hardy Hanover, 153-3. This is the 2-year-old Filly Pace, by the way, before sunrise, life of the party, common ownership, owned by Brittany Farms. Frank Salive getting set for the call of the 2-year-old Filly Pace of the Cadillac Breeders' Crown at Mohawk Raceway.
Ninth race. The 1996 final, Cadillac Breeders' Crown, 2-year-old pacing fillies at the start. And they're off. Fanciful Hanover, Tsunami Hanover, Michelle's Jackpot, these three. There goes Luke Ouellette, easing Michelle's Jackpot directly to the lead. Fanciful Hanover fills up the 2-hole, and getting in line from third, 2 more lengths back was Tsunami Hanover. Before sunrise from fourth, Dragon So's at the inside. 5th, Decor, parked in the early going from in 6th, then Life of the Party. And Paling Avenue is the early trailer into the first turn. It's all Michelle's Jackpot, Fanciful Hanover along in 2nd. And driving up to be 3rd, here comes Decor. She saw the hole, didn't take it, and drives at the lead. 28 seconds the first quarter. John Campbell putting Decor to the lead. Michelle's Jackpot will yield just like she did last week and sit there in 2nd. Fanciful Hanover is to the inside in 3rd. Tsunami Hanover 4th. Before sunrise, now tipped first over from 5th. And Dragon So 2nd over from 6th. Life of the Party is 7th, and Paling Avenue fresh back there in 8th. 2 more lengths. At the half, Decor in 57-3. It's Decor on top of length on Michelle's Jackpot, turning down the backstretch. Up on the outside before sunrise, and Condren attacking first over, and Dragon So has been getting it 2nd over. Now Fanciful Hanover is hemmed into the inside in 5th. Life of the Party 3rd over from 6th. Then Tsunami Hanover and Paling Avenue starts to the rear of the field. Not waiting, going 3 wide is Dragon So to pressure the leaders. Decor and before sunrise. Michelle's Jackpot is in the pocket, begging to get out. 126-1 at 3/4, 28-3 3rd quarter. They come to the top of the stretch. In the 1996 Cadillac Breeders' Crown, 2-year-old Filly Pace. Decor on the lead since just past the quarter. Michelle's Jackpot is locked up in the pocket. Before sunrise first over, then Dragon So on the far outside. Life of the Party, short lead for before sunrise. Michelle's Jackpot can't get enough room. Before sunrise and Condren. Before sunrise and Steve Condren win the 2-year-old Filly Pace over a badly blocked Michelle's Jackpot in 155-3. Before sunrise wins the Cadillac Breeders' Crown.
4th win of the year for Before Sunrise, owned by Brittany Farms of Versailles, Kentucky, and Daisy Acres. That's Bill Hayes of Astoria, New York. Trained by Gene Regal, driven to victory by Steve Condren. And this filly, bred by Shallcross Education Trust, Wilmington, Delaware.
And Bruce, we'll take another look at it right now. You'll see that Before Sunrise and Steve Condren really had no choice here. They're first up, pressuring Decor. Of course, Decor took over the lead from Michelle's Jackpot just past the quarter. And Before Sunrise looked a little bit here like she was dropping back, so that's why Dragon So made that 3-wide move around here. And it looked like she was tiring. Before Sunrise, though, did indeed battle back, and trying to hang on from the inside as they come down the stretch was Decor. Michelle's Jackpot with a ton of pace. You can see her head sideways a bit there for driver Luke Wallette, but she had nowhere to go. Finally, she muscles her way through, but it's a little bit too late. Before Sunrise, a gutty first over effort to win this crown.
She had the fewest starts in the field with just 6. This is the combination which produced Arts Place, Siegel, and Regal, and some of their best didn't start until August. So Before Sunrise, following in the footsteps of Arts Place, starting late in the year and winning the Cadillac Breeders' Crown, the 2-year-old Filly Pace. Before Sunrise, your 2-year-old Filly Pace winner in the Cadillac Breeders' Crown. This 2-year-old Bay Filly by Precious Bunny out of the San Sam mare Moonshaker. Brittany Farms, a powerhouse in the industry. George Siegel, who now gets his 4th Cadillac Breeders' Crown title, trained by Gene Regal. Steve Condren, the winning driver, and let's go to Gary Seibel.
Well, speaking of Steve Condren, the winning driver, we have the winning trainer here, Hall of Famer Gene Regal. And Gene, this has to be a big moment for you.
Yes, it is. The filly went a great mile tonight.
Tell us about the fact that she is a daughter of Precious Bunny, and your Arts Place had a lot of big battles with Precious Bunny. Is this some kind of redemption for you? Your filly by Precious Bunny beating a lot of other fillies by Arts Place.
Well, I don't know about that. You know, I picked this filly out as the yearling, you know, we bought her, and so I've been high on her all along, so she's proved me right. So
let's take a look at a little bit of that action in the race right now. We'll take a look, and they're heading on the backstretch and onto the final turn. Decor, John Campbell the inside. Before Sunrise here, it looks like your filly is starting to drop back a little bit, and I was kind of surprised when she made that big, strong comeback move. Dragon So is now out there 3 wide. Tell us about that.
Well, she got rough gated. He just told me on the last curve, and when he got her around the curve, he said she'd come right back again. So she went a tough race tonight.
All right, and you see right here that Before Sunrise still indeed has more left in the tank, overtaking Decor. Michelle's Jackpot comes on late, but no room for her, and a great mile by your filly. So once again, Gene Regal, congratulations on another Breeders' Crown win.
Thank you.
All right now we're going to head back to Bruce Beck.
All right, thank you very much, Gary. Before Sunrise coming into the race extremely well and returns 960, 450, and 290. Michelle's Jackpot was second, the favorite at 280 and 250. And Dragon So, who was 0 for 11 earlier the year, then 3 for 3, 470 to show, exacted $24. That's 1 and 4. Time of the mile 155 and 3. Pretty good considering the rain that we've had today. And here's a look at the official order of finish. Decor was 4th, Tsunami Hanover never really got going, finished 5th, Life of the Party 6th, and Paling Avenue finished 8th and last. So Before Sunrise is your race winner. And once again, the combination of Regal and Siegel comes through in a big way. We'll be back.
Get ready, racing fan.
Steve Condren last year won the 95 Breeders' Crown Freshman Trot with Armbrow Officer. Now he wins the 2-year-old Filly Pace with Before Sunrise. And there's a look at that happy winner's circle and the Cadillac Breeders' Crown Trophy. Gary, we turn our attention now to the 2-year-old Colt Trot. And this is a story, which happened earlier tonight, by the way, of David versus Goliath.
That's right, Bruce. Goliath being Meadow Branch Lou, the strong connections there, same connections as Pine Chip and King Pine. Also, Chuck Sylvester, leading trainer in the Breeders' Crown Series, and the winningest driver in this series, John Campbell, taking on Malabar Man for amateur driver Mal Burrows, looking to upset Meadow Branch Lou. They both had 11 wins in 12 starts this year, so it was going to be indeed a case of David versus Goliath.
All right, let's take a look at the conditions for the race, which took place earlier this evening. It was 1 mile for 2-year-old Colts and Geldings, and this one with a purse of almost $429,000. Meadow Branch Lou, as Gary mentioned, 11 wins in a row, won his elimination, 1-5 the public's choice. One Acme Trotter kit, Gary, 17-1.
Well, Bruce, for you Roadrunner cartoon fans out there, one Acme Trotter kit will not help Wile E. Coyote outdo the Roadrunner, but he may be able to beat this field tonight.
Malabar Man is number 6, 3-1, 11 for 12 this year. Only loss was up here at Mohawk. and number 8, Divinator, Ron Gerfine, the trainer.
That's right, the same connections as that great trotting filly Continental Victory, trainer Ron Gerfine and driver Mike Mattjesty. They've had a great year. This is their only hope in this event.
So this took place earlier this evening. The 2-year-old Colt Trot of the Cadillac Breeders' Crown. Track announcer Frank Salive had the call this way.
They're off and trotting, eased right out of there for the lead is One Acme Trotter Kid quickly to the lead. Buttafuoco comes on to drop into the 2-hole. Up in the outside third, that's Malabar Man getting in line. Off stride, the extreme outside went Divinator into the first turn. Relaxed away in fourth, the heavy favorite. That's Meadow Branch Lou, about 5 lengths off of the leader at this stage. BJ Super Sun just about to 2 lengths in behind him in fifth. Sand Chaser is 6th, Victory's Force is 7th, and back down trotting but trailing the field by about 15 lengths is Divinator. The opening quarter, One Acme Trotter Kid in 28-4. One Acme Trotter Kid is on top by 2. Buttafuoco content to follow along in second. Malabar Man races third, and Malboro's looking over his right shoulder to see where John Campbell is with Meadow Branch Lou. Meadow Branch Lou trying all he can to flush the cover of Malabar Man. He's going to get it second over as they move on up to the half. Now filling up the 5-hole, BJ Super Sun is adeptly driven through, and it's back to Sand Chaser, Victory's Force, and Divinator. One Acme Trotter Kid up to the half in 58-4. Shutting it down 30 seconds in the second panel. Nobody's been close to One Acme Trotter Kid as they come inside the final 3/8. Buttafuoco's followed along in second. Malabar Man first over since before the half and is third. Meadow Branch Lou is second over fourth at the outside, and BJ's Super Sun is fifth. Sand Chaser 6th at the outside. Then Victory's Force and Divinator is out of it. One Acme Trotter Kid is trying to get away on this field. The 3/4 time was 1:27-4, 29 seconds down the backstretch. One Acme Trotter Kid on the lead all the way. Now Malabar Man is closing in with every stride as they come to the top of the stretch. The 1996 Cadillac Breeders' Crown 2-year-old Colt Trot final. Malabar Man went first over before the half, and Marlborough brings him on by along the inside. One Acme Trotter Kid. Here comes Meadow Branch Lou. One final surge, not enough. Marlborough's and Malabar Man have won the Cadillac Breeders' Crown over Meadow Branch Lou. One Acme Trotter Kid against Sand Chaser for third. 159-1. Malabar Man and Marlborough's in the crown.
So Marlborough's the first amateur driver to win the crown, and Malabar Man returns 880, 320, and 250. Meadow Branch Lou 220, 220. Price is okay. One Acme Trotter Kid 380 to show. The exact is 6-1, just under $12. The mile in 159-1.
And Bruce, on this chance tonight, it was David taking on Goliath, and this evening, David has won.
Jimmy Takter's got his second win of the evening. Marlborough's the winning driver. He's also the owner, a high-powered real estate developer. Well, the harness racing world is saddened by the passing of Delvin Miller, one of the goodwill ambassadors of the sport and the giants of the industry. He's still with us in spirit. Post parade for the 2-year-old Colt Pace of the Cadillac Breeders' Crown. Number 1 is Park Place.
Bruce's Cadillac Crown Elim victory last week was just his second career win and a lifetime best 154-3 effort as he came on late to nip Megamon by a head at the wire.
Driver Mike Mattjesty won a couple of crowns in 92 and 94. Hopes the pattern continues in 96. Number 1A is Ramses 2.
Mike Mattjesty drove both Park Place and Ramses 2 to Elim wins last week for trainer Jim Campbell and owners Arlene and Jules Siegel. He chose to drive Park Place in the final. We'll see if he made the right choice.
Driver Wally Hennessy is seeking his first crown title, and look out, he's exploded this year. He won the Hambletonian Oaks with Moneymaker. Number 2 is Arturo.
The fastest Elim winner at 153-2, and the hottest horse coming into this race, having won 4 straight. The Colt has earned over $250,000 this year, second only to Gothic Dream. Outside post last week, the 2-hole tonight.
1995 HTA Driver of the Year, Luke Ouellette is in the bike. Number 3 is Stone Dragon.
Well, he'll start from post 4. Son of Dragon's Lair has posted 8 wins so far this year, more than any other horse in the field. He's the winner of the Shepherd Pace at Yonkers, never been worse than 3rd in 13 career starts.
Driver Jack Moiseyev has won 2 of the last 3 Breeders' Crown races in this division. He hit the wire first with Expensive Scooter in 93, with John Street North last year. Number 4 is Gothic Dream.
From post 5, almost $500,000 in the bank for this year's winner of the Metro Stakes, a race he won in 151.3, making him the fastest colt in the field as well as the richest.
John Campbell is in the sulky. He won this Breeders' Crown division in 1985 with Robust Hanover and in 1990 with Arch Place. John once had 38 consecutive drives in Crown finals. Number 5 is Megamind.
Bruce, according to trainer Joe Holloway, his Jate LaBelle colt is big and strong and well rested. Those positives may serve him well tonight. Game second in his Cadillac Crown of Limb.
Bill Fay won the open pace in August with Jenna's Beach Boy, the same horse he won this division with 2 years ago. Number 6 in the post parade is Instant Offense.
This son of Run the Table almost did just that when he closed strongly in his Crown of Limb to finish second at odds of 63-1. He's an Ontario bred, and his trainer Greg McNair is a local guy from Guelph.
In 1986, Sunset Warrior upset Redskin in the same race. The driver was Bill Gale. He tries to duplicate that feat tonight with long shot Instant Offense. And number 7 is his Mattjesty.
A beaten favorite in his Cadillac Crown elimination, but it was a gutsy and game effort to finish second behind Arturo. Trainer Stu Ferlot has another good one in this Matt Scooter colt.
And the driver is Doug Brown, who won this race in 91 for trainer Stu Ferlot. With Digger Almahurst, can lightning strike again?
Well, Bruce, success means different things to different people. Owner-breeder Carl Gregg has certainly had his share both in and out of the sport, but through it all, he's had to wait till now to come up with a horse like Arturo. For 73-year-old Carl Gregg, success has always come naturally. The now semi-retired entrepreneur made his fortune from a number of business ventures as an owner of a construction company, a real estate firm, and an office temporary service in Pittsburgh. And good fortune has followed him ever since he bought his first harness horse in the late 1980s.
Me and the man upstairs, I guess, close relationship. I've been very fortunate with horses, very fortunate.
That includes his latest stakes horse, Arturo, who stamped himself as the horse to beat in the Breeders' Crown with this impressive victory in the elimination. He overcame the number 8 post and a determined challenge from the odds-on favorite, his Mattjesty, to win in a career best time of 153-2.
But we knew Arturo from the time we started, when he was a baby, when he started to train, that he was good. We knew it a lot better than most of the other people. I mean, the drivers and that took him. But Luke Willett made him. Lou handles him like a Cadillac.
Greg and trainer Steve LeBlanc have been together since the beginning. Most of Greg's horses carry the moniker iCarl, combining his late wife Eileen's first name with his, but not Arturo, whom Greg planned to sell at auction. But when he didn't get his price, he decided to keep the colt, and he's awfully glad he did. Arturo is red hot entering the Breeders' Crown. He's won his last 4 starts, beginning with the $200,000 final of the Lou Babbitt Memorial. But for Greg, the money is not what brings him pleasure.
The most enjoyment I get is not personally, financially or that. It's just the idea to see a beautiful animal like that being able to win and go down in some sort of a record book. You know, he was made to run, and when he runs the best way, that's when you're proud.
Greg believes the key to success in any business is the way you treat the people or the animals who work for you. He has a genuine love for his horses, win or lose.
It would mean a tremendous amount to me, but if I came in last, God forbid, it still wouldn't affect me as far as love of the horse and blaming him. I mean, you know, a race is a horse race, and you just can't say I'm going to win it. If you did, I don't think anybody would go. And of course, you know, naturally you pray that he wins it, and you St. Francis and everybody else, but it really won't mean that much if he races good and tries, you know.
Well, will Mr. Gregg get his crown victory tonight? One thing's for sure, Arturo is the now horse. He's won 4 in a row. He won the elimination. Arturo and the 2-year-old Colt Pace coming up when we come back. Mohawk Raceway, sponsored by the Ontario Jockey Club. We are getting set for our final race of the night, the 2-year-old Colt Pace. Here's an update on the odds. The entry of Park Place and Ramsey's 2. Jim Campbell trained 10-1. Arturo, the even money public choice right now. Stone Dragon, who won the Shepherd, is 26-1. Gothic Dream in the money, 9 for 10 this year, 3-1. Megamind getting some support at 5-1, never missed a check. Instant Offense at 50, and his Mattjesty is 4-1. And Gary, his Mattjesty turned some heads the other day because he beat older horses at Mohawk. That rarely happens.
That's right, and I'll tell you what, his Mattjesty could be crowned on this night. This horse certainly has a good shot to win. The only problem is he has post position 8, and it is very difficult on this racetrack to win from that spot, although Arturo did in his limb last week.
And Brown and Ferlat combined with Digger Almahurst back in 91. Number 1, Park Place, one of 2 Jim Campbell charges. He won his elimination.
Yes, he sure did, coming on to win it by a head from pretty much off the pace here. Mike LaChance had his choice of Ramsey's 2 or Park Place, and he went with Park Place, so if he does, I will.
Well, the Breeders' Crown record is set by and has been held by you-know-who, Arts Place. As you look at Park Place currently being held at 10-1. Arts Place was magnificent, 151-1. It's one of the greatest miles ever in the Breeders' Crown. Track record is Falcon's Future, 151-3. The world record is Arts Place, 151-1. Now remember, 8 straight odds-on losing favorites in this race. The 2-year-old Colt Pace, the only favorite ever to win, was Camptastic back in 1987. Frank Sallee with the call of the 2-year-old Colt Pace of the Cadillac Crown.
Thanks, Bruce. The Breeders' Crown 2-year-old Colt Pace final of 1996 at the start. They're off and pacing along the inside. Park Place right there in the early strides with Arturo, and sweeping up around them comes Stone Dragon, who's being hustled to the lead. Other half of the entry, Ramses 2 is settled out in 4th. Gothic Dream is 5th. And parked out in 6th, looking to get inside, that's Megamind. To the rear of the field, Instant Offense and his Mattjesty, well spread out, close to a dozen lengths front to back in this one. And Moisiev has hustled Stone Dragon to an early 3-length advantage in 27 seconds flat. That's Stone Dragon up front, readying to pass us for the first time. And along the inside, 2nd is Arturo, passing us. 5 more lengths back in 3rd is Park Place, and 2 more to his stablemate Ramses 2 in 4th. Gothic Dream starts up 5th on the outside, flushing the cover of Ramses 2 up in front of him. Megamind is 3rd from last. Instant Offense moves up the inside, and his Mattjesty has been 8th since the outset. They move up to the half. Stone Dragon sets the pace. Arturo is tipped out from 2nd, 57-1 the halftime, 30-1 in the 2nd quarter, but the pace will pick up now. Stone Dragon and Arturo chasing into the final 3/8, and Park Place along the inside is 3rd. Ramses 2 comes out again from 4th. At the inside 5th, coming out again is Gothic Dream. Megamind 6th. Then Instant Offense and his Mattjesty. Doug Brown will try it. 3 wide from 8th. His Mattjesty at the rear of the field, trying to put on the 3-wide move, and he is gaining. Stone Dragon past the top turn in 125 flat, 27-4 3rd quarter. They come 4 high at him out of the final turn. Gothic Dream, his Mattjesty last most of the way, is readying to join. Megamind is on the outside, joining the pace. They turn into the stretch. The 96 Cadillac Breeders' Crown final, and here comes his Mattjesty. Is it going to be a last to first victory for Doug Brown and Stu Ferlat? Yes, his Mattjesty. Doug Brown, Stu Ferlat score again over Gothic Dream, and Megamind was 3rd. His Mattjesty sweeps the field to win the Cadillac Breeders' Crown in 154-4.
What a tremendous move by his Mattjesty from way back. He charged to get the job done. Trained by Stu Ferlat, driven by Doug Brown. This connection won this Breeders' Crown race with Digger Almahurst back in 1991. And yes, this 2-year-old bay colt by Matt Scooter out of the No Nukes mare, Lady Hathaway, is the winner.
Bruce, there's nothing like a last to first call, and Frank Sallee gave it to us perfectly. You'll see at this point in the green and white colors, his Mattjesty dead last. He makes that 3-wide move now, sees that the horse on the front end, Stone Dragon, getting a little bit tired after a stone game effort here, and now he's out there 4-wide and still coming on strong in the race. Set up perfectly for his Mattjesty, and driver Doug Brown seizing the moment here, coming on. He's still out there 3 deep. Stone Dragon still on the lead. Down the stretch they come, and Stone Dragon is finally given away, but the strong one On the far outside, His Majesty and driver Doug Brown. A big mile here for them, coming on to win it, and a very difficult task from post 8.
Well, he won here at the Nassagaweya at Mohawk on September 14th. He beat older horses here on October 4th. He got people excited. The hometown son, all his starts in Canada except for one at the Meadowlands, and the winner, His Majesty, in the 2-year-old Colt Pace of the '96 Cadillac Crown. Well, he made his debut early in the year on May 28th at a qualifier. He was second to the races of this group. And His Majesty, bred by Bill Peretti of Cream Ridge, New Jersey. That's where Matt Scooter stands farm at Peretti Farms. And it owned tonight by the Matt Duff Group. Let's go to Gary Seibel.
All right, Bruce, I'm in the winner's circle here, albeit a muddy winner's circle. I've got my shoes muddy, but Doug, you're muddy all over, but I bet you don't mind right now. Congratulations on a great win and a very exciting one. You don't normally see that, especially in a Breeders' Crown event, from last to first.
No, he went a terrific mile. Going to the half, I thought if we got a check, we'd be doing well, but he's just such a great colt. He never says die, and he just kept digging right to the wire.
All right, let's take a look at that right now. We'll see it on our monitors. You tell us, because you probably got a pretty muddy view out on the racetrack. Right now, you're dead last. I mean, at this point, you said you really thought you had not much of a shot.
Well, I followed the horse that I wanted to follow, Bill Fahey's colt, because he looked pretty good last week, but going by the half, they were all kind of struggling outside, so that was the only shot I had. I moved them 3 wide, and he just picked them off 1 by 1, and actually got pushed 4 wide around the last turn and just kept pace. And for a 2-year-old to do that, it's just remarkable, the trip he went.
You must have been thinking at this point, when is he just going to flatten out here a bit or hang, because you were out there a long ways, weren't you?
Well, I wasn't worried about him flattening out, because he never does. Like I say, he never says die. And once I got him off the last turn, I figured I had a real good shot at him, because he was running in pretty good around the last turn. Once we got him straightened out, then he was very strong again finishing.
Okay, a perennial leader on the OJC circuit, driver Doug Brown. Congratulations on another Cadillac Breeders' Crown win. Let's go back to Bruce Beck.
So Matt Scooter, the 1989 Horse of the Year, has his first victor as a sire. His Majesty returning 1260, 520, and 420. Gothic Dream, 490 and 310. Megamind, 4:30 to show. Time of the mile, 54 and 4. Well, the 2-year-old Colt Pace of the Cadillac Crown has always provided us with many stirring moments, and the first crown at 84 was a shocker. It's the topic of this Cadillac racing moment.
This is, you know,
in 1984, the undefeated 2-year-old pacing colt Annihilator ventured to Ladbroke at the Meadows in western Pennsylvania to strut his stuff. He was the heavy favorite to capture the Breeders' Crown and solidify his hold on Horse of the Year honors. But that bid was dashed by a local favorite, Dragon's Lair, and Pittsburgh native Jeff Mallett, who scored the biggest upset of the season and pulled off one of the biggest surprises in the history of the series. It was a Cadillac racing moment. And speaking of greats of the sport, what about Mattjesty, who led 2 post parades tonight? He's on his North American tour for '96. Horse of the Year twice in '79 and '80. He still looks grand. We'll be right back. On the winner's circle.
All right, Bruce, we're here in the winner's circle. It's raining a lot harder now, but we don't care. With me is Fred Lautenschlager, who is district manager, General Motors of Canada, and he is going to make the presentation to owner Clay Horner, part of the Matt Duff Group that owns His Majesty. Fred?
Well, on behalf of Cadillac, we have a fantastic finish this evening. We want to congratulate you on a great race, and Cadillac is proud to be associated with this event. So congratulations, Cadillac Breeders' Crown Trophy.
Fred, it's a real pleasure. I'll tell you, our horse raced just like the very best Cadillac tonight, and we're super thrilled. It's a group of folks from Toronto who own this horse, and we've had a lot of fun with them, and we're really happy, and we've had a great job done by the most wonderful trainer, Stu Furlot, and just the greatest driver there is, Dougie Brown.
All right, I'll tell you what, Clay, you've won this race here. What's next for His Majesty, and what's next for the Matt Duff Group?
Well, I don't know. The Matt Duff Group owns 2 horses. Matt Duff, who was the favorite in a whole bunch of the big 3-year-old races this year and had a good year. He made $260,000. And this Colt, who we didn't think was all that special all winter, but he's turned out to be better than Matt Duff. So he'll go on, if he comes out of this okay, he'll go on to the Governor's Cup, and then we love to end our year at the Matron in Florida.
All right, Clay Horner, congratulations to you and the rest of the Matt Duff Group, and Fred Lautenschlager of General Motors of Canada. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, let's head back now to Bruce Beck.
Here's the official order of finish. Broken Dreams once again for Carl Gregg, a break for Arturo, who finishes 8th and last. I'll look back at what has transpired tonight at Mohawk Raceway. First of all, in the 2-year-old Filly Trot, it was Armbrow Prowess at 14-1. Jimmy Takter getting the victory. He won this race back in '93 with Gleam. He does it again this evening. Then in the 2-year-old Filly Pace, before sunrise, Regal and Siegel, the precious bunny filly, gets the job done. Steve Condren, the winning driver. Then it was the 2-year-old Colt Trot. Malabar Man, the first amateur driver to ever win the crown, becomes Malvern Burrows, and Jimmy Takter wins his 2nd of the night. And then we close with last to first, His Majesty, with Doug Brown winning the 2-year-old Colt Pace of the Cadillac Crown. Thanks for joining us. Gary Seibel, I'm Bruce Beck. Good night from Mohawk.